Howdy folks, and welcome to another episode of Mingles with Jingles. Now, I know I've said this before, and it usually ends up being a half-hour long video anyway, but there's a very good chance this is going to be a shorter than average episode of Mingles with Jingles, because I have to get this video recorded, edited, uploaded, processed, and done quite early, because tonight I'm heading up to Gatwick Airport. Because Rita's coming back from Portugal. She's been visiting her family for the last 2 weeks. It's the first time she's been home in 3 years. And her flight doesn't get in until midnight, and there are no trains running at that time of night. Not on a Sunday. So I've got to get my ass up to Gatwick, pick her up, bring her back home at stupid o'clock in the morning. And of course it's not all just... because that's the thing. Rita's been away for 2 weeks, so I've been living like a slob. I've just let everything go. So I spent most of today cleaning the house and emptying the cat litter. Oh my god. Cat owners, how do you do it? It's revolting. The stench, man. There's something about the smell of cat piss and cat shit that just makes me want to gag. I nearly threw up 3 times emptying the various different cat litter trays that we got scattered around the house. I mean, cats are great, but I would rather just buy a completely new litter tray and throw the old one out than go through the... oh no, man, that is nasty. I really don't know how cat owners can do it. I mean, dogs are easy. Dog needs a piss, just open the back door, let him out in the garden or the backyard, or whatever you've got. Done. Dog needs to shit, same deal. And then every couple of days you pop out in the garden, you just scoop up these fossilized dog turds. It's easy. But cats, holy shit, no. Never gonna happen. Those things are nasty. Speaking of cats, you may or may not be aware, Rita has 2 cats. There's Jubaka, or just Ju, who's great. I mean, she's as dumb as the day is long. She is the dumbest creature in all of creation. But she's really placid and gentle, and she doesn't have a temper or anything. She's just a lovely, lovely cat. And then of course there's Crystalline, who is a demon, basically. She is bad-tempered, vicious. They're both rescue cats. Ju was in a really, really bad state when Rita adopted her. She'd just been neglected. And to this day she suffers from allergies. So you have to be careful what food you give her, but she's doing a lot better these days. Crystalline, also a rescue cat, but she'd been abused by people as well as neglected. And so it takes a long time for that cat to trust somebody. And it took about 2.5 years. Seriously, she hated me at first. And then after about 8 months she started to tolerate me. She wouldn't just automatically, reflexively hiss and spit at me anytime I came within 3 feet of her. And it's only recently, and we're talking nearly 3 years now, that she's actually started to show any kind of affection towards me. So basically for the last 2 weeks I've been living like a Disney princess. I'll have Boo sitting in my lap, just snoring away peacefully. I'll have Juicy curled up over my feet, purring away to herself, and I'll have Crystalline sitting on the back of the chair behind my head. Now, of the 2 cats, Ju's been spayed, so she's not interested in boy cats, but Crystalline has not, and she is very interested in boy cats. But the thing is, they're both house cats, right? They don't get let out. And you can tell when Crystalline's getting horny, because she has a little admirer. There's this little black and white tomcat that keeps sniffing around, and he is a persistent and fearless little bugger. We let the cats out into the garden because we put anti-cat climbing spikes around the top of the fence, so that because Crystalline would try to get out. She would go looking. She doesn't know what cock is, but she knows she wants it, and she's determined to find it, when she's in the mood. So, you know, that stopped Crystalline from getting out. But this little bugger, it hasn't stopped him from getting in. He's found a way over the fence that doesn't involve tripping these spikes. And when I say he's persistent, I mean he is persistent. A couple of days ago, was it yeah, it was last week, I heard Crystalline making these really strange noises just outside the bedroom door when I was recording the video. So I thought, strange noise, not heard her make that noise before, let's go and investigate. Open the bedroom door, and the tomcat is there, in the hallway, outside my bedroom. He's inside the bloody house. We'd left the back door open. Well, I say we. I had left the back door open so Juicy could play in the garden and come back in. We don't have a cat flap or anything. And this little bastard had sneaked in and he'd come upstairs looking for Crystalline. And he wasn't scared of me either. He just sat there staring at me saying, yes, and is there a problem? Do you want something? Is there something I can help you with? So I chased the little bugger out. And he's scared of Boo, though, which is kind of... I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, Boo will vigorously defend Crystalline's honour. Boo must have been asleep at the time, because if he catches even a hint of this tomcat, he goes absolutely berserk. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall, I weigh 15 stone. Cat isn't afraid of me. Boo, you can fit him in the palm of your hand. He weighs about 5 kilos. Cat's terrified of him. I don't know what that says about me. I should probably be quite self-conscious about that. Or maybe it's just because animals love me. Yes, let's say that's what it is. Anyway, Rita's back tonight. From here on in, it's her problem again. Meanwhile, I'm getting quietly excited about Star Wars Battlefront 2. I've already got it preloaded, and I think in 3 days, on the 16th, it's going to be playable. So I'm looking forward to being massively disappointed by Star Wars Battlefront 2 in the same way that I was massively disappointed with Call of Duty World at War. Although, you never know. I remain quietly optimistic. It might be good. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Not a huge amount else. I mean, I talked about this in last week's Mingles with Jingles, but there's not actually a huge amount else coming out that I'm even getting remotely excited about. Well, there isn't a huge amount that's actually coming out for Christmas. It's like all the big releases are coming out in November. Call of Duty World at War, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Star Wars Battlefront 2. Other than that, there just isn't really an awful lot coming out for PC. Not over the Christmas anyway. There's some stuff coming out in January and February. What was that? There's a game I was looking forward to, but it's not released until February. I can't remember what it was now. Oh, that's right, Far Cry 5. Very, very much looking forward to that. But February's a weird... Who releases something... I mean, this is a AAA title as well. This is a big budget game, Far Cry 5. February. I mean, it's bizarre. I guess it must have slipped from a Christmas release date for some reason, but... I mean... If you go into the movie business, February is where movies get dumped. Right? If a movie is released in February, it's basically been sent there to die. Nobody's expecting it to do very well at all. It's kind of the same in the PC market as well, PC games. You know, you want all of your big releases out in time for Christmas. I mean, nobody releases a AAA title in February. Because everybody's broke. I mean, they're still paying off all their debts from Christmas. Nobody's got the money to go spending 50 quid on a full price game in February. And yet Far Cry 5, I don't know. I'm sure it makes sense to somebody at Ubisoft, but it doesn't make any sense to me. Well, anyway, speaking of the Christmas season, March of Nations coming out in World of Tanks. And it's a global thing. This isn't just the EU server. This is happening across all of the servers. And it's generating not a small amount of controversy. What's this March of Nations thing? Okay, right. Reading directly from the blurb on the World of Tanks portal. This November we're hosting March of Nations, where anyone taking tier 7 to 10 tanks in random battles can compete for glory and rewards. The event is 4 independent tournaments, 1 for each tier group, and there's no limits. Choose as many tourneys as you want, register in each and climb the leaderboards. As you put your skills to work, we'll build 36 categories to feature the finest tankers of each tank tree within every tier group. The top players among all leaderboards will walk away with exclusive rewards to let you stand out from the pack. And it's these exclusive rewards that are generating the controversy. So, if you're on the EU server, what sort of rewards can you expect to earn if you take part in this March of Nations thing? Well, again, reading directly from the blurb on the World of Tanks EU website, the more leaderboards you climb, the more rewards you get. Players who reach high positions will receive event-exclusive badges to celebrate their mastery, resilience and perseverance. Badges are displayed in the garage and in battles next to your name, letting everyone see, so bragging rights basically. But also, top players will also get premium account time and personal reserves. So bragging rights, personal reserves and some premium time. Oh, well, the prizes aren't going to exactly set the world on fire, but that's not really the issue. This is a global event. It's happening across all World of Tanks servers. The only thing is the prizes aren't the same across all World of Tanks servers. If you play on the EU server and you take part in this March of Nations event, the top 1,000 players on the EU server, that's not a lot of players, so this is going to be fairly exclusive, are going to get some personal reserves and 3 days of premium time. Now, it's exactly the same prize on the Russian servers, except it's not for the top 1,000, it's for the top 7,500. And if you're playing on the North American server, they're giving away Tier 8 premium tanks. Unsurprisingly, several people on the EU server are getting a bit pissed off and get short-changed by wargaming yet again when it comes to the prizes being given away in a global event. In fact, the Polish community have organised a boycott of the event completely. But what's the reason for the difference in the prizes? I can kind of make some kind of sense of it. I mean, there's a lot more people play World of Tanks on the Russian server than on the EU server. So 1,000 players on the EU server get the prizes, 7,500 get them on the Russian server. Now, I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but if there are 7.5 times as many people playing on the Russian server compared to the EU server, well, that would kind of make sense. I mean, the prizes are the same, it's still just personal reserves and premium time on the Russian server. They're not getting better prizes, they're just getting more of them. But they have more players on the Russian server, so that kind of sort of makes sense. What doesn't make a lot of sense is when you look at the prizes being given away on the North American and Asian servers, who are doing exactly the same event as everybody else, but they're getting Tier 8 premium tanks as rewards. Well, I say it doesn't make an awful lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense from a certain perspective. Why would they be giving away Tier 8 premiums? And don't forget, a Tier 8 premium can cost the same or more than a full-price AAA PC game these days. Why would they be giving away something like that rather than just, personal reserves and a couple of days of premium time? Could it possibly be because hardly anybody's playing World of Tanks on the North American server and they want some big prizes to encourage people to actually log in and play the game? I think it might be. Not a lot of consolation for anybody on the EU server who's logging in religiously and loyally every day, grinding out their daily doubles and, well, getting shafted in comparison. But from a, business perspective for wargaming as a whole, I can see why they might do this. But it's pissing a lot of people off, mostly on the EU server for obvious reasons, and particularly for some reason the Polish community, who, as I said, have organised a boycott of the event, supported by a couple of prominent Polish community contributors. There will be tears before bedtime. Oh, speaking of tears, I had a very nasty surprise when I logged in to Lone Echo in VR the other day in order to record the 5th instalment of my Lone Echo playthrough. Turns out, Oculus doesn't save your progress. Fresh install of the game, brand new PC, have to start again from scratch. Shit. Which is basically the reason why you haven't seen the continuation of my Lone Echo playthrough in the last couple of weeks. I mean, I'd have to fire up the old PC, see if I can find the save file, stick it onto a disk or a memory stick and transfer it over. Hopefully that would work, or I could just play through the whole thing again from scratch on the new PC. Either way, that's the reason why I haven't gotten around to doing part 5 of my Lone Echo playthrough, which is bloody annoying because the game was really starting to get very intriguing and interesting, right at the point where I last played. So yeah, it's going to be a while. Now, I know most of you probably couldn't care less, because, let's be completely honest here. In fact, let me just find the exact figures. Let me just go to the relevant webpage. There we go, Lone Echo Part 4. 43,000 views. Most of you don't care. Most of you couldn't give a rat's ass whether I ever do another Lone Echo video. And it's not just Lone Echo. XCOM 2, for example, the Badass Wanted XCOM 2 video that I did, 51,000 views. Heliborn, believe it or not, 108,000 views in the same week. It's fascinating seeing what people watch and what people don't watch. I mean, Lone Echo, hardly anybody watches. XCOM 2, hardly anybody watches. Heliborn, surprisingly popular. World of Tanks, World of Warships, obviously. I mean, those videos always get between 100 and 150,000 views. The casual Saturday videos, depends on the content, but normally a reasonable number of views for a casual Saturday video like Super Hot or Hellblade, for example, Fractured Space, will get around about 50 to 60,000 views. Most people don't really care for that sort of content either. It's still very much about the World of Tanks and the World of Warships. Ghost Recon Wildlands, again. That will usually scrape between 50 and 80,000 views whenever I do one of those. So things like Lone Echo, XCOM 2, Ghost Recon, most of you really don't care about. And yet here's the thing. Those of you who do care about those video series absolutely love them. The audience engagement on those videos is way higher than on my World of Tanks and World of Warships videos, despite the fact that the World of Tanks and World of Warships videos are 3 times as popular. It's fascinating stuff. And I'll tell you what else is interesting. I mean, obviously World of Tanks, World of Warships, my bread and butter. But there is one other video series that I've started doing, which isn't World of Tanks and isn't World of Warships, but is proving almost as popular. And that's Cold Waters. The average Cold Waters video will get over 100,000 views easily. And it's not World of Tanks. It's not World of Warships. It's been a bit of a surprise hit here on my YouTube channel. And I'm very happy about that because I absolutely love Cold Waters and I'm not going to stop doing videos on it anytime soon. Well, I'm not going to stop doing videos on XCOM 2 and Ghost Recon and Lone Echo and whatever else anytime soon either. I've always basically just done videos of whatever it is that I enjoy playing. If you guys enjoy them as well, then great. If not, well, you know, it's a big internet. There's plenty of other videos on YouTube for you to watch. But I'm very, very happy that the Cold Waters is proven to be as popular as it is. I mean, it's right up there with World of Tanks and World of Warships at the moment. And long may that situation continue, because it's a great game and it deserves it. I'll tell you what else has been a surprise hit, and I really did not see this one coming. One video that I uploaded in the last month, and it's achieved 310,000 views. World of Warplanes. Yes, really. I have in fact done 2 World of Warplanes videos in the last month, and between them they've got nearly 500,000 views. Now, you have to be careful how you interpret figures like this. Is this telling me that World of Warplanes is incredibly popular, everybody loves the gameplay, and I should be doing more World of Warplanes videos? Or is it down to the novelty value of me putting a World of Warplanes video up and not saying, oh my god, this sucks, wargaming, what the hell are you doing? I think it may be more to do with the latter. Don't get me wrong, I do like World of Warplanes. Now that they've, you know, fixed it and made it fun and playable. But it's kind of limited. I couldn't play World of Warplanes for longer than an hour before getting bored and wanting to do something else. It's more of a quick fix, instant action, fun game than something I could ever really do a half-hour video on. Nevertheless, it was very surprising to see that World of Warplanes 2.0, How Bad Can It Be, is the most popular video that I have uploaded in the last 28 days. Wow, what a time to be alive. Anyway, I need to start thinking about knocking this particular video on the head, get myself a shit shower and shave, scrubbed up, on the road, up to the airport, collect Rita and get her back home safe and sound. Before we go, however, there is just one other thing that I wanted to share with you. I was recently contacted by my friend Dave Lister. No, not the guy from Red Dwarf. This is an actual person called Dave Lister. And Dave has some shocking tank-related news. Many years ago, around about 2013, Dave was in an archive and he found a reference to bolt-on spaced armour to be fitted to the hull of the Conqueror. As well as a new turret design, Dave posted these articles up and showed a picture of the Conqueror range target. Yes, the tank that has replaced the FV215B in World of Tanks as the British Tier 10 Heavy, the Super Conqueror. The existence of the Super Conqueror in World of Tanks can be directly traced back to the archive work that Dave Lister did in 2013. He is responsible. If you go back far enough, he's responsible for the Super Conqueror being in World of Tanks. Dave would like to apologise about that. Because there's no such thing as the Super Conqueror. But what you're talking about, we've seen photographs. Yes, we've been over this before. You've seen photographs of a range target. You've seen photographs of a Conqueror with spaced armour bolted onto the turret that was used to test the effectiveness of various different armour-piercing rounds. It wasn't a tank, it was a range target. But we've got it here in World of Tanks as a Tier 10 Heavy. Well, that's not the shocking news. That's old news. Everybody knows about that. The shocking news is that people are starting to make model kits of this thing as if it's a real tank. Look at this. I shit you not. Oh well. Dave's very sorry. He never knew things would go this far, but well, what can you do? Like I said, what a time to be alive. And that's it for this week's episode of Mingles with Jingles. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a great weekend. And as always, take care. And I'll catch you next time.